Hundreds gather on Anna Maria Island today to honor our veterans.
Plus, the search for large cats in the area still underway after a report of possible tigers in Mayaca City.
And a new addition to the South Florida Museum. Your Suncoast News starts now.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. First tonight, praise and thank yous have been the theme of the day as hundreds across the Suncoast gather to pay tribute to area veterans.
ABC7's Bobeth Yates has more from a celebration on Anna Maria Island.
Anna Maria Island kicked off a weekend of Veteran Day festivities with their annual parade. The event brought out hundreds, all paying tribute to the armed services. From the music to the war relics, the streets of Anna Maria Island were packed with spectators with one thing in mind.
We are watching the band and thanking the veterans for their service. The parade was awesome.
I love to see them in their uniforms.
The Old Soldiers and Sailors Parade, which was added to expand the city's annual Veterans Day celebration, included two 100-piece marching bands from both Lakewood Ranch and Manatee High Schools, multiple community organizations, as well as the honored guests themselves, veterans. But for some, the event had a deeper meaning than what could be seen on the parade route.
It's kind of different for me because for the first 40 years after I got out of the service, people didn't even know I was in the service. And ever since the Gulf War, the populace, the people have begun to celebrate veterans. So I came out of the closet, so to speak, and I think a lot of Vietnam veterans did as well. And we started to take pride in our service.
It's a wonderful thing to remember our veterans, what we went through.
A message that those in attendance wanted to drive home.
I really thank the veterans for fighting for us and being there for us.
I think they're really great, and God bless America.
City officials say this is the first time a parade has been a part of their Veteran Day festivities, and it all goes to show just how much the community has come together to rally behind our vets. Bobeth Yates, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Bobeth. In Venice, U.S. flags are being placed in front of the homes of Suncoast veterans. The Venice Nokomis Rotary Club is behind the program. Homeowners pay the group $40 a year to post the flag in front of their home on 5 different patriotic holidays, including Veterans Day. These flags are left up for about a week, and then someone will come back and get them until the next holiday. It's all being done to raise awareness for veterans and all they have sacrificed for our freedoms.
I think any time a veteran sees his American flag, he straightens up a little bit more, and his chest comes out a little bit more, and he knows that sacrifice that he made.
If you'd like a flag for next year, you're encouraged to reach out to the Venice Nokomis Rotary Club to get an application.
Reports of a tiger sighting in Mayaca City sends Florida Fish and Wildlife officers on the hunt for big cats. The search started around 7:30 last night when a 17-year-old reported seeing large cats, what were believed to be tigers, walking near Crosby Road in Mayaca City. Nearly 24 hours later, there still has not been any sightings of a big cat. Clayton Rosaire, the vice president of Big Cat Habitat, thinks it was more likely a coyote, a Florida panther, or a bobcat, which can all be found here on the Suncoast.
You're talking about an area that has fields full of cattle, horses, ponies, goats, all type of livestock out there. So if there were large meat-eating predators out there, there would be some type of sign.
4 facilities that house big cats in the surrounding areas have all of their animals accounted for. Once the sun sets tonight, FWC will no longer be searching for these big cats.
A new manatee arriving this week at the South Florida Museum. Laguna had been rescued recently, is now going through rehabilitation at the downtown Bradenton facility. She's the first rescued manatee at the museum to be brought there since the death of Snooty. Laguna is 2.5 years old and is recovering from a boat strike.
We're happy to have her here. You know, you're always happy for a manatee to survive a situation like that. We're happy that we're going to be able to bring her through to the next stage.
Now, Laguna and the 2 other manatees that are getting care there at the museum are expected to be released from the museum sometime next year.
The Suncoast Humane Society wants to provide a safe haven for animals who are in a crisis situation. The Humane Society is partnering with the Center for Abuse and Rape Emergencies to provide temporary housing for pets whose owners are receiving crisis services from CARE. CARE helps victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and other violent crimes. The goal is to provide temporary care for those animals whose owners are not able to find or provide extended care for their pets while in crisis. Well, the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival kicking off today at Siesta Beach. Certainly a gorgeous scene out there.
It sure is. Tonight, a little different look tonight. We're going to look at that with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who joins us live from Siesta Beach with more. Hi, Bob.
Yeah, lots going on here at night now. That's the big story, is that they've added some nighttime events to this wonderful event that's been going on for 8 years now. And from Santa Cruz, California, Kirk Rademacher is one of the artists, and you've been coming here for the last 7 years too, and this is a piece of your work right behind me. What do we have here?
This is basically we're kind of riffing off of a Swiss Army knife. We're making actually it's a Swiss Army wife. We had a little bit of a collapse over here, lost a big spike thing that was up there at the up high.
And that's what it's all about. So you get a certain amount of sand, all these artists, and you've got to get height and you've got to get the design as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, height is everything, but it's just nice to get something up there in the air like that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It draws attention. And everything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, you've always done a great job here. We appreciate you helping out, and it's a big competition, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's international. There's people from all over the world here.
You guys do a wonderful job. I tell you, very meticulous work. I really appreciate seeing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
It's just one of the artists of many that are here from all over the world. You just heard it. South Korea is represented, as well as the Netherlands. Beautiful weather, too. You couldn't ask for better weather tonight. Although he had a little setback. That setback, by the way, right there cost him a half day, he said. That's how long it takes to meticulously do this sculpting that you see right here. These are master sculptors that you see, and their work will be on display all weekend long. Well, much more in the weekend weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Thanks, Kirk.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, some of that detail in that sand is just amazing. I can't wait to see it.
But I'm sure they like working with the sand. It's such a fine quality there at Siesta. Well, the high school football playoffs begin tonight, and several Suncoast schools are still playing.
That's right. ABC7's Dwayne Delindo is live at the Ram Bowl at Riverview High School with our playoff game of the week. Dwayne?
Well, guys, we have squads from 4 different classes playing tonight, but it's the big class making our game of the week, Class 8A. The Riverview Rams at 9-1, taking on the number 6 seed out of Osceola County, Gateway High School. Now, this is the first time both these teams have ever met for the playoffs. Gateway High School has a 2-game winning streak and an offense that the Rams can't take lightly. And we all know Riverview's resume. You can remember last year the Rams won their first playoff game since 2004. They went deep before losing to Dr. Phillips last year. Now, many of the players say they have the talent to go even further into the playoffs. Ali Boyce has carried much of the Rams' offense this year, and running back Michael Hayes right behind him, carrying some of the load. Our quarterback Arthur Brantley also has a few weapons on offense, Stephon Turner and Zy Grable. If the Rams win, they may have a rematch with the team they beat last year in the postseason. But for now, going into the playoffs one more time is their focus.
We got to this point with being a run-first offense and an aggressive attacking defense and making big plays on our special teams. So that's what we've focused on. Just try to worry about ourselves and execution, and we'll see what happens.
Going into the playoffs right now is just really special to us right now because last year, we got cut a little short in the second round of Dr. Phillips. We hungry now. I played on that team last year. We coming back. We ready to take it a little bit farther than that. Hopefully to the state championship.
Now, all games kickoff are at 7:30. Now, I got to talk about the surprise team of the playoffs, Booker High School, getting into the playoffs at 4-6 as a number 8 seed. And for their efforts, they get to play the Big I, Immokalee High School out of Collier County. That game will be tonight at 7:30. And you can catch all the highlights tonight at Football Friday Night, 11:15. Scott, Jackie, back to you.
All right, Dwayne, thanks so much. We'll see you tonight. Enjoy the games.
Yeah, and Southeast High School obviously taking a big blow this season. I'm sure they're quite disappointed.
Well, that's the team that Booker took their spot because they had all the forfeits and other issues. Well, still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a disorder that is usually associated with veterans but can also affect anyone who has gone through a traumatic event.
More on this undercover illness when we come back.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Not all medical conditions are easily visible on the surface, and that's why this week we're taking a look at 5 undercover illnesses, exposing what they really are and how those around us are affected.
Today we investigate a disorder that is oftentimes associated with veterans, post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Although veterans are most commonly diagnosed, it's a disorder that can affect children and people who have been through any type of traumatic event. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick is digging deeper into this undercover illness.
PTSD occurs after experiencing some type of extreme trauma or life-threatening event. That's why it's so common in veterans. It's obviously not preventable, but it is curable if you seek help in time.
It's a beast all on its own.
Veteran Brian Jacobs suffers from PTSD.
So you don't know who you are, you have a lot of anxiety, you have a lot of depression, you don't fit, but then you've gone through some extreme trauma. And that trauma really is something that you can't explain or you don't want to explain.
For Jacobs, there are certain triggers that take him back to war and watching his brothers and sisters die.
It's many things, loud bangs, loud pops, those are, essentially that's combat. You do, tend to duck and always watch. A lot of veterans sit with their, faces always towards the door because of situations. I used to have a problem with being on the beach because of the sand. But it was one of those things I had to learn how to put my mind out of that area.
But for Jacobs, he's discovered what coping mechanisms work for him.
That's what the tough thing is that you have to find your own coping mechanisms. Some don't find their coping mechanisms, like my younger brother, who took his life 3 years ago as a veteran suicide. And he couldn't find coping mechanisms. I've taken the more therapeutic, the artful route, where I found food, or I found growing stuff, or brewing beer, or doing things that use my mind for more indulgent things in life.
However, his coping mechanisms won't work for everyone.
Every veteran has different challenges they faced over there, and no veteran is unlike the other. And so the way they cope, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be anger, it could be violence, it could be rage, it could be reactions.
PTSD symptoms include flashbacks, nightmares, severe anxiety, and uncontrollable thoughts about the tragedy. It's diagnosable as PTSD when those symptoms last more than a month after the trauma.
PTSD occurs when the event, basically the brain gets stuck in that fight or flight response. So it's just a normal reaction.
Clinical practitioner and trauma specialist Kendra Simpkins works with those with PTSD. She has patients that have experienced PTSD after a sexual assault, car accident, or even Hurricane Irma.
Because some people can often say, well, why don't you just get over it? Why don't you just forget about it? And obviously the individual would if they could, but it's not up to them. And we can't just tell ourselves to stop doing this or to stop feeling this.
There are quite a few treatments out there, like cognitive behavior therapies, that take a patient through the trauma, hoping to desensitize them to it. But Simpkins finds these to be long, painful processes. She does something completely different, called rapid resolution therapy.
It's a process of talking, stories and visualizations and imageries to get the brain to understand that the trauma is no longer happening, and therefore it releases that fight or flight response. And so that they would then remember the event, but they would no longer be feeling like or being triggered by the event anymore.
Simpkins says there's a big stigma of PTSD in today's society.
It's often portrayed in the media that those with PTSD are psychotic or that they're violent. And neither of those even fit the criteria of PTSD.
Simpkins says there are a lot more people living with PTSD than you would think. She says they're fully capable of having healthy relationships and maintaining jobs. She calls them fully functional members of society. Now, if you or a loved one are suffering with PTSD, call the number on your screen. It is the PTSD Crisis Hotline at 866-382-2287. Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
And we'll try to get that number up on our website, so if you missed that, you can get that as well. Useful number to have. Bob Harrigan's up next with your first alert weather from Siesta Beach.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Get KBV's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for as little as $24,999. Or be one of the first to drive away in a 2018 Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Well, the Crystal Classic still in full swing this evening on Siesta Key. Beautiful night out there.
And with the lights that they've added this year and this new night thing, I think it's going to be a huge hit. Look at the scene behind Bob Harrigan tonight.
Goodness.
Look at that. It's beautiful, Bob.
Breathtaking.
It is beautiful, breathtaking. There's a lot of people here at night, too. It never used to be like that, but it is tonight and tomorrow night, too. It's going to be open until 9 o'clock. And joining us now live is Bob Black, who served in the Vietnam War, and it's all about the veterans this weekend. Obviously, we appreciate your service, Bob, and your family's had quite a history of veterans.
Yes, I'm the third generation U.S. Army. My grandfather in World War I, where he was poison gassed, and my father, who was in the Army Air Corps World War II, was shot down over Germany and was a prisoner of war. And I served in Vietnam in '68 and '69, and it was an honor and a privilege for our family to serve our country, and so we can do things like this here in Sarasota.
Isn't it nice, too? And you've been here a resident of 30 years now, right?
Yes, I moved here from the Virgin Islands in 1988.
Well, we really appreciate your service and your family's service over the years. We had a big program this morning taking veterans fishing on the MODS program, Minnesota Operation Troop Support. We expect you to be there next year to do some fishing, okay?
I love to fish, and I'd like to give a shout out to, I was Army, but all my Marine buddies, my neighbors are all Marines, and
Marine
Corps birthday today, so a shout out to them, and they all proudly served our country.
Appreciate it. Thank you. 242 years. Thank you, Bob. And then look at this. We have Lily. Hey, Lily and Laney. Lily, how are you guys doing?
Good.
And are you guys enjoying the sand sculpting?
Yes.
What is your favorite so far?
The mermaid.
The mermaid. You know, ABC7 is a sponsor of that mermaid.
I like a mermaid.
You like the mermaid too? You guys are cute. I hope you have a good time. That sand's soft, isn't it? It's the world's best sand. Remember that. Isn't it? We got a lot of big crowd here right now. And the best weather too. Let's go to the maps right now and show you what's going on as far as that goes. We are looking at beautiful weather here. A nice sunset tonight, but not as good as last night. Get a look at that. Lido from Kevin, he came out here and said, you don't ever show my pictures. We had so many, I had to show those right there. And the Van Wezel webcam showing beautiful conditions late, but it was cloudy and foggy most of the day. So again, that is going to be a different story tomorrow. You want the sunshine, it's going to be back tomorrow, and there'll be quite a bit of it. So it should be a real nice day. Yeah, people are happier about that after a day of fog. Currently, we do have clear skies now at the airport. Things are starting to clear out there, and we are looking for a beautiful night ahead, really. Generally, football weather couldn't be better. Mostly fair skies right now, so the skies have cleared. Temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 70s right now, and the dew point's starting to fall, so it is getting a little drier out there, not as humid. And as far as the almanac goes, the high was 73, and again, the low was 67 degrees. So we're going to go to the forecast panels now and show you what's happening. As far as that goes, the boating forecast looks like this. We are looking at winds out of the northeast at around 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be, again, 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop out there, and the water temperature is starting to warm up still into the mid-70s, and we're looking for the forecast tonight. Generally, mostly fair skies, low temperatures in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, high temperatures will warm into the upper 70s to mid-70s. Something's happened behind me, and the extended forecast calls for great weather right on through the period, except for a slight chance for a few showers. Great night tonight. All right, we'll be right back after this, folks. Stick around.
This is a small community.
The mass shooting in Texas. David Muir with the heroes and first responders.
Good evening.
The truck attack in New York. The only anchor with the NYPD at the scene. The only anchor at the fires in California with survivors in Las Vegas. World News Tonight is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Well, make sure you come join ABC7 tomorrow at the Longboat Key Veterans Day Parade. We will be taking part in a proud sponsor of that event.
Have a great night. Enjoy the sand sculpting.